The following is a RackRadioShow.com exclusive.
And welcome back to The Rack right here on WildTalkRadio.com. We are super excited because joining us on the phone right now is one of our most favorite guests ever. He is one half of the Bad Influence, the best looking man in TNA, and of course the master of the Appletini, the ring general himself, Mr. Christopher Daniels. How are you today?
I'm thrilled to be a part of it all. Thanks for having me, and thanks for that nice introduction.
Well, you are one of our most favorite people to talk to, and love having you on the show.
Awesome.
I have to know, Lockdown is coming up on March 9th in Miami, Florida. Are you excited for it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always excited for TNA pay-per-views, and this one's no different. But there's a special sort of excitement because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing yet. I know I'm going to be part of the show, but with all of the hubbub going around with Bobby Roode and Dixie Carter and MVP, the obvious choice would be having my main man Francois and myself as Bad Influence being part of Team Roode. But, Bobby right now seems to have had his confidence in us shaken for some reason. So we're still debating whether or not we're going to be part of Team Roode at Lethal Lockdown. So we'll find out. Hopefully soon.
Well, I hope so. I mean, at least everybody here on the Wild Talk Network, we want to see you as part of Team Roode.
No matter what happens, the most entertaining part of the show is going to be the Secretary of Offense, Frankie Kazarian, and the man with the rear that makes the women cheer, Christopher Daniels. No matter what we do, it doesn't matter who we're wrestling. It's possible that we might just be, standing on the ramp, watching the show, waving to people as it happens. It doesn't matter. Whatever happens, we're going to be the most entertaining part of the show. So you can take that to the bank if you like.
Absolutely. And I fully believe that 100%. I know I'm going to watch the pay-per-view just for you guys anyway. So
awesome.
You brought up the recent changes in TNA. What are your thoughts on MVP coming in?
Well, I think it's a great time to be a TNA fan because when you see guys like MVP come to TNA, when you see guys like Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards entering TNA, you just got to be happy with the possibilities, the unseen matchups that before haven't been seen. You're going to get a chance to see them. Not too long ago, Bad Influence and the Wolves had their first match on television. I told everybody after the fact on Twitter that wasn't going to be a one and done. I'm sure there's going to be more opportunities for us to try our best against Davey and Eddie. And, the winner of that match is definitely going to be the fans. They're going to be watching some of the best tag team wrestling in the world when Frankie and myself get our hands on Davey and Eddie once again. And now that they're the World Tag Team Champions, I foresee gold in our future once again.
Well, I certainly hope that there's gold in your future, because we're still banking on those championship suspenders. And we always cry conspiracy every time you guys lose, because it seems like the powers that be are just pretty much trying to keep those titles away from you.
Well, I mean, you've seen the last couple times that we even had an opportunity to wrestle for the belt. It wasn't like one-on-one or one team versus one team. It was 3 teams involved, 4 teams involved. We had to go through a gauntlet to even get involved at Bound for Glory. You could see how that worked out for us. I mean, they've stacked the odds against us because they know 1-on-1, 2-on-2, we're the most dominant team, the best tag team in the business, and they understand this. So, the powers that be, the people that want the championships around other people's waist, they don't want them around our delicious waist. If they did, all they had to do was sign a match with us as the challengers.
So now that the Wolves have the tag team titles, do you maybe foresee possibly getting a match with them at Lockdown?
It's very possible. I'm not sure. I was under the impression that because MVP brought in the Wolves, that he was going to handpick them to be part of his team. But now that they're the World Tag Team Champions, it's very possible that he, as an investor, may ask them to defend the titles at Lockdown, because he knows as the investor that the money match is the Wolves versus Bad Influence. So he may want more buys at that pay-per-view. He knows that the world would go nuts if that was the match at Lockdown, so maybe that's the plan. You'd have to ask MVP. When's he coming on? Is he right on after me?
No. We just wanted you because you're awesome.
I understand. Well, there's no following me anyway, so I understand
absolutely.
that as well.
So it's there's nothing we can do about that. You're just too awesome for words. So going back to the recent changes, do you feel maybe that TNA is now heading in that right direction? Because you said that it's an exciting time to be a fan, and it absolutely is. So do you feel that maybe TNA is moving forward with their new direction, or do you think that it's not quite the plan?
Well, no, I absolutely think TNA is moving in the right direction. I feel like, we've been on a roll ever since we came back from the UK. All the television that we've been doing, the stuff that we taped overseas went very well so far. It's still going very well. And, it's onwards and upwards as far as I'm concerned for TNA, especially with Bad Influence still in the fold. Like I said, we're the most entertaining part of this roster. And so as long as we're doing that dance down the aisle, you can be assured that TNA is the television show to watch.
Oh, absolutely. And can you kind of describe what the environment was, speaking of the European tour, to do your first live show from Glasgow, Scotland?
Well, it was a very difficult tour in the sense that logistically we were traveling a lot. We spent very little downtime.
Right.
We arrived in Dublin. We had the show the next day. And then the day after that, we flew right to Scotland and went right from the airport to the building. We did our show in Glasgow. And then the next day, that night, we drove from Glasgow, Scotland to Manchester, England. And
oh, wow.
Spent many hours on the bus, got in late, got up early the next day to go to Manchester and do the show. Then we drove to London to do Wembley. So, we spent a lot of time on the bus. It was a lot of traveling to get from place to place, to get those 5 shows done in 5 days. But,
right.
The good thing about it was we were all together, and, we definitely, as a team, put out some great television. We had some great shows, and we had a great response from the UK crowd, which is always one of our most ardent support groups, the UK fans.
I have to compliment you guys, because those shows overseas are such a pleasure to watch, as there is a real buzz in the air when watching those shows.
Absolutely. Every time we go over there, they're some of the most enthusiastic fans that we wrestle in front of, and the chance for us to go and do TV in front of them again, like we did last year, it definitely adds to the presentation of our product. And so I feel like that's always been a highlight for our year, is going over there and doing the UK tour.
Now, I hear you are headed over to Japan for a few days.
Absolutely. We're going over for Wrestle 1. We leave Friday. The show is March 2nd. And Bad Influence has been announced to be grappling against Minoru Tanaka and Koji Kanemoto, 2 of the greatest junior heavyweights in all of Japanese wrestling history. So it's going to be one of the best matches on the show, I assure you.
I don't doubt it one bit. Are you excited to go?
Absolutely. I think this is going to be a great team building experience in terms of the rapport between ourselves, TNA, and Wrestle One. This company, Wrestle One, that the great Muda is currently involved in. It's sort of a newer federation, and I think with TNA sort of lending a hand and coming over there and having this TNA versus Wrestle One show, I think there's going to be a lot of interest in the matches. Magnus defending his title against one of the top Japanese stars over there at this time, Kai. Austin Aries defending against Sonata. Davey and Eddie defending against Kaz Hayashi and Shuji Kondo. It's just going to be full of great matches and some great wrestling. And I'm always excited to go over to Japan. I feel like if you can succeed in Japan, you certainly made it as a professional wrestler, and that was always something that I enjoyed, going over there and testing my mettle against the Japanese contingent.
Do you have any favorite memories of wrestling in Japan that you'd like to share with us?
I was very fortunate to be able to wrestle in the Tokyo Dome. That was one of my goals as a wrestler.
Oh, wow.
And I finally got a chance to do that when I wrestled for New Japan. I want to say it was 2007. The year escapes me, but it was, I want to say 2007. I wrestled for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against Wataru Inoue. And it's just one of my favorite matches in terms of the scope of it all. We got to wrestle in front of 30,000 fans, and it was a very big match feel. And that stands out. The first time, every time I've wrestled in Korakuen Hall, which is probably the most famous building in terms of wrestling, apart from maybe the ECW arena,
right.
in terms of the intimate setting. Corkin Hall has always been a great venue for me, and I thought that was where we were wrestling on the 2nd, but I think I might be mistaken. I think it's Sumo Hall. So if anybody listening can confirm or deny where we're going to be on March 2nd, I'd appreciate it, because that'll help me get there in time for the show, if I know where the show is.
They don't give you any type of itinerary. You just kind of got to figure it out.
Well, someone's going to drive me there, because obviously I can't drive in Japan. I can't read the street sign. So
right.
It's probably best that someone help me get there on time. But it would certainly help if I knew what direction to tell the taxi driver.
Absolutely. That's always a plus. Now, transitioning back into TNA, is there anyone that you would like to see come in, maybe in the future? Because we've seen a lot of new faces.
Oh, wow. Nobody comes to mind. I mean, I feel like we've got a really good roster right now. I feel like guys like Manic and Kenny King haven't really, they haven't been on television in a while. I feel like they're still a strong part of our roster. So I'm actually hoping for more returns than actual new faces. But at the same time, I'm always happy to see new talent in TNA. I'm always, I always welcome new challenges from guys. And when I heard like guys like Davey and Eddie were coming in, I was very happy to know that we'd get an opportunity to work with those guys. I'm looking forward to working with MVP in that same respect. But nobody off the top of my head that I could name. If I knew that question was going to be asked, I'd have done my homework. But I did not.
I'm sorry.
I did not study for this particular test. No one gave me the syllabus, so I wasn't quite sure what we were studying for this particular test. So I fail in that respect.
Well, next time we'll have to make sure to give you all the questions in advance, so that way you know.
That would help. I'd do some background.
So, this is just me. I'm curious because, we keep mentioning the Wolves, and I have to compliment you on the match that you and Frankie had with them. It was absolutely tremendous. It was wonderful to watch. What was that experience like to give them their first tag match in TNA?
I felt like it was basically a given. I feel like when you talk about tag team wrestling in TNA right now, Bad Influence is the first team that comes to mind. And so I think that was the one that everybody was looking forward to. And I feel like a long-term program between us and them is inevitable. And I feel like that's definitely a direction that we should go in. And, once lockdown is over, we'll see exactly where we're going.
Absolutely. And I look forward to that. Just me personally.
I too look forward to it.
Because it should
There's
be tremendous.
Two of us at least. Yes, it will be tremendous. I agree with you.
I don't know if Davey and Eddie will look forward to it, but, well.
Well, those guys, having known them for a long time and wrestling them in Ring of Honor, I know that they're itching to make their name on the national scene. And, the only way you get to be the best is if wrestling the best. And like I said, the best tag team in the business is us. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, the best way to make a name is to have a good showing against us. And they got lucky that first match. But like I said, it won't be the last time that they do that dance with us. And, no matter what happens, the winner of that match is going to be the TNA fan base for getting to watch some great tag team wrestling.
Absolutely. Now, one of our most favorite things that you and Frankie do is you do the Throwback Thursday moments.
Yes.
And we've seen you do some awesome moments from the Road Warriors to the Braveheart personas in Scotland, which was amazing. And I have to know, do you have a favorite?
I'd have to say the Legion of Boom was my favorite.
That was good.
Actually, the truth of it is the only one that I had any say in terms of like coming up with it was that one. All of the other ideas have come from the fertile mind of Francois Kazarian. But I definitely enjoyed the Legion of Boom. I was real happy that we got a chance to do the Best Coast Bulldogs in England. And for those of you that don't get a chance to watch Explosion, get on YouTube now and look it up. It's actually playing today on Explosion on Challenge TV overseas. But for those of you that have access to YouTube and not access to Explosion, you can watch it on YouTube now. I say it's one of my finer moments.
Well, we will definitely have to check that out. And can you maybe give us a hint what Frankie possibly has in mind for any future moments, or are we just going to have to wait and see?
You'll have to wait and see. Sometimes he doesn't even tell me what's in his mind until the last minute, but that's fine with me. Frankie and I, we trust each other implicitly, and whenever we decide to go down an avenue to envision a fine Throwback Thursday, you can rest assured that it will be an entertaining spectacle to be enjoyed by all.
Absolutely. And speaking of entertaining spectacles and YouTube, we have to talk about your TNA 24/7 videos.
Okay.
I absolutely love those. I love that you seize that. And I think my favorite is your wife helping you get ready.
Oh, for Halloween?
For Halloween.
Well, thank you very much. I felt like when we were given those opportunities, when they came to us as the TNA roster and said that they were going to start this Impact 365 venture, I saw an opportunity to sort of show people the entertaining side that you might not get a chance to see on Impact. And Frankie and I sort of dove into it head first. And we still have some ideas. We have some stuff in the works that we're going to put up on the 365 site pretty soon. So just stay tuned, man. We're not done with this yet.
I can't wait. I was just about to ask you if we were getting any more videos from you, but obviously we are, so I can't wait to see those. But I have to know, how did your wife get a hold of your arch rival's Curry Man's outfit?
I have no idea. If I ever find out that Curry Man was ever in my house, I'll have him assassinated on the spot. He still owes me money. And he's a bit of a drunk, so I can't imagine he drove over here.
And I would bet not. So I guess it made you happy to see him lose the match to Bully Ray.
Well, I know that he's got a very strong neck, so I'm sure he'll return as spicy as ever. But I still haven't seen him backstage. I thought he was going to come around, but as soon as he got hurt by Bully Ray, he was taken home, taken to the hospital via ambulance. So I didn't get a chance to talk to him. So I'm sure when he comes back, he and I will have some choice words to trade.
Well, I definitely look forward to that. Maybe we'll see it on the 24/7 service.
We hope so.
We hope so, because we got to get you two together at some point.
If you say so. I'm livid at the young man. I don't believe in anybody that you should always repay your debts as quickly and expeditiously as possible. But apparently, the young Spice King doesn't share my enthusiasm with paying back debts.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yes, I agree.
Completely unfortunate. We may have to see if we can get him on for an interview and talk to him about that.
No, I don't know if you want to listen to his rotten, broken English. He may not be as entertaining as me. Unless you do a visual, he may dance. He may dance for 20 minutes.
Well, that would be okay, but nobody is as entertaining as you.
I concur.
Nobody. So, just to start to wrap things up here and kind of go back to Lockdown. Obviously you're excited for it. You don't know what you're doing. Is it cool to be going to Miami and being able to interact with all the fans? Are you looking forward to the fan interaction portion of Lockdown, at least? Yeah,
always. I mean, first of all, going to a new market. This will be the first time that I think TNA's been in Miami, at least for a pay-per-view. It's always cool to be able to wrestle live in front of new fans, and bringing a pay-per-view extravaganza to Miami, I think, is going to be a big deal for everybody. And then the fan interaction, it's always fun to be able to sort of give the opportunity to see our most fervent fans live. When you get an opportunity to meet and greet the fans, that's a big deal for them, and it's a big deal for us to know that we've got the support of these guys, and they're the reason that we continue to be able to do what we love for a living.
Right, absolutely. And I'm sure you're not looking forward to it, because I'm sure it hurts a lot, but do you like the fact that TNA has brought back the all-cage format for the show?
I'm indifferent. I'm fine. I was fine wrestling in the cage. I know last year we did Lockdown, and I was in one of the matches that wasn't in the cage, and I was fine with that as well. It'll be interesting to see what happens, like what the final match for us is going to be. I'll have a better idea of how we're going to approach this match once I know what the match actually is. But I'm fine either way. If it was in a cage, if it wasn't in a cage, if it's in the parking lot, no matter what, no matter who we're wrestling, that influence will come out victorious, like always.
Of course.
Of
As
course.
we expect you to. It's just the automatic guess that, bad influence will win every time.
We're more consistent than the Reddit guy, predicting pay-per-views. We're way more consistent than him. Every time we're in, we win. So there you have it.
There you go. And I have just one last final question for you, going a little bit back to the fan interaction.
All right.
What is the craziest thing a fan has ever either done for you or brought you?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm trying to think. We don't really get very many insane fans. There's always someone dressed as Hulk Hogan, or someone, with their face painted like Jeff Hardy, wearing Jeff Hardy's hand-me-downs.
Right.
Sometimes people bring appletinis as if their recipe would be better than mine. They never are. I'm just letting everyone know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's usually alcohol or face paint, one or the other.
Well, alcohol's not a bad gift.
No, it's not. It's fine. It's just, let me make the appletinis. I'm way better at it than a lot of folks. So.
Well, you are the master of the appletini, so.
It's true. I brought the resurgence, the national resurgence of the appletini can be directly attributed to myself. Zach Braff should thank me.
We should. I know the last time that we had you on the show, we actually got your recipe, and I did try to make it. It probably wasn't as good as yours, but it was still amazingly good.
I didn't tell you my secret ingredient, so that's probably true.
That's probably it, But I tried to make it based on what you told us.
There you go.
So, all right, guys. Chris, thank you so much for coming on. And everybody remember, you can see TNA Lockdown in person on March 9th in Miami, Florida at the Bank United Center at the University of Miami. And you can, of course, purchase tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Also on March 8th, you can be a part of the TNA Lockdown fan interaction, which you can buy tickets for at ShopTNA.com. And, of course, if you can't make it to Miami, I
was going to say, and if you go to fan interaction, make sure to tousle Robbie E's hair. He loves it. Just walk right up to him and tousle it like he's a young man. He is a young man.
Does it move?
Sometimes. It depends on what kind of spackle or pomade or hair chutney that he puts in it. He mixes it up every day. I know it's a different formula. Sometimes the hair chutney makes it very, very soft, though. So give it a try, everyone. Make sure, just rub your hands right through it.
And, of course, if you're not there to tousle Robbie E's hair, you can, of course, also buy it on pay-per-view with your local cable provider. So,
not
Chris,
Robbie E's hair, Lockdown. Not Robbie E's
Lockdown.
Hair. You can get Lockdown on pay-per-view. You can't get Robbie E's hair anywhere. I've even looked on eBay. It's not there.
You know what? You need to talk to Jimmy J and get him to come up with a Robbie E wig.
Oh, do you think anybody wants to look like Robbie E? I don't think there's that many fans that do that.
No. Come to think of it, no.
I'm not sure it's a look that everybody's following. It's possible. I think more people want to look like me than look like Robbie E. Well,
you guys also have a shirt, so everybody buy your shirt.
I do have a shirt. I'm wearing a shirt right now.
Fantastic. So. Buy the Bad Influence shirt at ShopTNA.com as well.
There you go. And never mind trying to look like Robbie E. Robbie E doesn't really want to even look like Robbie E.
Everybody look like Christopher Danielson, Frankie Kazarian, because they are awesome.
Well, try your best anyway.
Yes. So, Chris, thank you once again for coming on. We appreciate it so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, and thank you for all the support, for all the fans listening. We wouldn't be where we are today without your rabid and insane support, so thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, everyone, you're listening to The Rack right here on WildTalkRadio.com, and we will be right back.